Yeah, guys, thanks for joining us for the policy session on Semicon. I have with me Anurag Awasti. He has extensively worked with the government. He has a lot of knowledge on the policy part. Even his pedigree is from ISB and Punjab University, where he worked extensively, studied the policy framework, and he has been with the government. He's right now the vice president for ISA, and earlier he was the CEO with the Electronic Park, mostly into the hardware and the semicon space. So he will be, talking to you, and also he will discuss couple of aspects of the Indian semiconductor policy with you today. And any specific questions that you have with respect to policy, or if you have any challenges, I think this is a good platform for you to share with Anurag, because he can also interface with the other side of the of the government as well. So Anurag, thanks for joining us today. And I know your current status quo, but I really appreciate you joining us today and spending time with these young folks today. Okay, please go ahead, Anurag. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Rajesh. I will be there for the next round, half an hour to 45 minutes. I'm not feeling too bright. I'm a little under the weather, down with viral. So I would recommend all of you to ask me the questions or whatever concerns you have, and I'll try to answer it that way. With that, I would speak a little lesser and not give you too much of gyan also, and the aim also would be accomplished. So the house is open. You may ask me whatever questions you want, and whatever little I know, I'll make my level best to answer them. Just introduce yourself as to who you are, whom do you represent, what kind of work that you do, and what exactly are you facing difficulties with, or what you want to know. That is all. Anyone?
Hi,
Rajat, go ahead.
yeah. Hi, Anurag. I'm
Hi,
Rajat.
Rajat.
I'm
Yeah,
Rajat from Zeely Smart Systems.
yeah.
Basically, we are looking, we are working on uh, bringing semiconductor innovations to defense and aerospace sector. So basically, we want to explore open source architectures and new innovations in semiconductor into the defense and aerospace sector. So basically,
Okay.
for me, first thing is uh, what we see is there is a for basically semiconductor market, like the market also should be uh, available for the people who design and manufacture the ICs. So the current players already have a well-established supply chain. They have field application engineers working with the customers, and they have some kind of leverage. But is there any government plan to uh, make it like some kind of mandatory use of locally available processor or a semiconductor? So uh,
Right. So, Rajat, there are three, four things that you need to know insofar as the Make in India and defense is concerned. Firstly, there have been at least four, if not five, I think four, indigenization lists which have been taken out by the government of India lately.
yeah, I
Now,
think
each indigenization list essentially looks at import substitution in terms of a lot of components, whether they are hardware, software, or material. You may like to look at them. They're all in the public domain. Look at the indigenization lists of the Ministry of Defense. Having said that, there are two, three more important things that you need to know. One is this, system which has been started by the Ministry of Defense called IDEX. Please look
yeah,
at IDEX. Go on to the open source internet and see how IDEX works. It is basically for all innovations in the defense and aerospace sector. And now this IDEX, along with the Americans, that is the ISET, which is going on, also has a program called the Indus X. They are all
Okay.
available on the open source on the internet. Please go through them and see what is the way that you can plug into this and possibly make it a little more, cogent as to what you are wanting to do as part of your enterprise. That is one.
Yep.
The second thing is that you have to also read something called the Defense Acquisition Procedure. That is the DAP 2022. You may like to see that or download that from the internet and go through that. Anywhere you get stuck sometime, you can again fix up a call through T Hub with me, and I'll be
Okay.
able to navigate and guide you more through the system. Now, insofar as the defense and aerospace is concerned, there's a large focus of the government of India in this segment, insofar as the critical electronics is concerned. Uh, you may look at FPGAs, you may look at communication systems, especially the secure communication systems or the satellite defined radios, as the name suggests, are going to be very, very important in the future, as also the drone segment. Now, drone segment, no matter, whether it is A, B, or C, and what category of drones he or she is manufacturing today and giving it to the system, a large part of the components of this kind of a system or even subsystems, they come from abroad, importantly China.
Yep.
So there has to be a lot of space and a lot of room for maneuver insofar as this is concerned in the defense and aerospace segment. Another segment that you should look forward to, and if you can actually help out, it will be a great thing for the Indian system. If you can look at developing or at the end of the day, innovating or manufacturing, or whichever way you want it, is a seeker. The seeker technology for all guided systems is a very, very important proposition for the government of India. It is very close to the heart of the entire weapon systems which are being developed. And
Okay.
while it may be not very expensive as part of the overall ordinance, you must understand that it is the brain or it's the very spirit of any weapon system today, of any guided weapon system. So look at the seeker technology in case you can do something in seekers, if you can break away and make something good in seekers, if you can innovate something in seekers as part of guidance systems, I think you'll be doing this country a great favor in case you can do that. I hope this answers your question.
Yeah. Yeah. I
I
have.
have a few questions here. Sorry, Anurag.
Yeah.
First
Tell
question
me,
is
please
regarding
tell
this.
me about your
Yeah,
organization first as to what do you do.
yeah. Hi, I'm Arvind here. I am actually into AI accelerator chips. Basically, these are very low power, ultra low power, high end acceleration, AI acceleration chips, which are
Okay.
primarily used in one of the use cases of this AI accelerator chip is drones. You want
Okay.
a drone to fly longer,
Yeah.
the acceleration needs to be there and it has to be very, very low power, ultra low power.
Mm,
This is what I am doing.
mm.
We are in the
Wonderful.
cohort and we're trying to do it. So I wouldn't say I have achieved it. We have FPGA based solution ready, but the actual
Okay.
chip, I think we are in the process of getting it done. So that's what we do.
Right.
Okay. So the
Wonderful.
question I have is regarding the DLI semicon policy. Any information on that, especially for this kind of the
Have
company
you
like ours?
applied as a DLI applicant?
We are in the process of applying. I mean, we want to do it in the financial year April onwards. This financial
So
year we
that's it.
want to close in.
You
Hmm.
apply. Once you apply, your
Hmm.
application will reach METI. Once it reaches METI,
Okay.
they have a pool of applications depending on the
Hmm.
segment that you're in and depending on the
Hmm.
gravitas that your startup has. What they will do
Hmm.
is they will earmark you or possibly shortlist you. Thereafter, you will have to come here to Delhi or wherever, or possibly online. You will have to deliver what exactly do you want to do, and these kind of things are taken by at the highest level, because finally there's a lot of
Okay.
funding which has to go into this, right, in DLI.
Right.
So you first
So
apply for DLI. First
Yeah.
apply for it, and then we will see
Okay.
where you go from there. But nevertheless, at least apply for design linked incentive. No? You'll have to first
Yeah, I
apply
was
for it.
thinking it is maybe I should first apply for C2S, which is chip to silica, and then DLI once the prototype is ready or product is out. I was not sure initially.
C2S, you can apply for it, but C2S will is generally looking at academic institutions, so to say,
Okay.
as we
Okay.
speak. See, as
Mm-hmm.
a when you're looking at C2S, you're looking at system tools basically, right?
Correct.
So
Hmm.
whether you're buying the system tools from A, B, or C, that is not the issue. There are two kinds of tools. One is the academic tools, which is basically for research, and the other is the commercial
Hmm.
tools. You can't mix both of them.
Correct. Correct.
It's
Correct.
illegal to
In
do
fact,
it,
I was
right?
talking to IMAC. IMAC is mandatorily telling me to buy Cadence commercial license only. Because the chip needs to be not done on research tool, it has to be done on commercial license only.
Commercial. That's exactly what I told you, because there are legal issues involved in that, right? So
Right. Right.
C2S
Hmm.
essentially looks at the academic part of these tools,
Mm-hmm.
whereas the DLI looks
Okay.
at commercial issues also,
Oh.
right?
Okay. Fine.
So you see
Hmm.
where you are fitting in. Likewise, you have to
Mm-hmm.
apply for the
Okay.
required scheme. And then it is not
Okay.
guaranteed that you will get it, because you're just one among so many who are applying for it. So depending
Right.
on
Right. I
whether
agree.
you are making the cut, or whether or it's a very niche segment which nobody is doing, which the government feels that yes, the money needs
Hmm.
to go to the mouth where it has to feed,
Hmm.
then I'm sure you'll make it through. And the DLI application is a very rudimentary application. You just fill it online. There's no rocket
Yeah.
science to
Yeah.
it.
It's not like I know. I was not sure whether it is C2S or DLI, so I just thought I'll first figure out that. And
C2S, yeah. C2S is more academic. Like C2S,
mm-hmm.
you will find being given to academic institutions essentially for starting off, kick-starting the subsystems, basically, right?
Okay. Okay.
So I really don't know that with the academic tools, you can do something commercial. I think personally, if you ask me, it will be not very legal. So you may like to look at
No,
it.
they rejected it. Anurag, you're right.
Yes.
The IMEC guys who take us to TSMC, telecom, the TSMC manufacturing, Taiwan
Uh,
Semiconductor Manufacturing Company,
uh,
will reject anything which is not Cadence commercial license, and it is not manufactured at all. In fact,
No,
they are
whether
very
it is
particular about.
Cadence, no, whether it is Cadence or Synopsys or Mentor Graphics or whatever it is, that is not the question. The question is the genre of tools.
Right. True. True. Hmm.
So that you may like to look at it, but apply. I think you should apply for DLI personally, if you ask me. If
Okay.
you're doing
Great.
what you're doing,
Thanks. Thanks. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'll do. I'll do, Anurag.
yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Apply for DLI.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not able to speak too much. My throat is totally jammed, but I'm trying my best to speak.
Krishna, can you please give a brief about your startup?
Yeah. Hi, Anurag. This is Krishna Kishore from Chipex Technologies. Okay, we are a turnkey solution providers. Basically, right, we want to do from spec to part, from including each and every domain. And so mostly, right, what we see is in most of the services are being done in Europe, and means most of the architecture and RTL is being done in Europe and Western countries, and only we are doing services here. But we want to say be it in a different way, because a lot of Indian companies are coming up with their own chip requirements, and each and everyone can't go to so costly companies. So what we are doing is we are trying to build a ecosystem here, so that anyone can be getting benefited from our partnership. So in that perspective, right? Actually, initially we discussed with semiconductor laboratories, and the main reason is so we want to understand means semiconductor laboratories is there in India from long time, but we there are not much components which can help to build a complete SoC, but they are reluctant to have a partnership, and mostly saying that they are not in that hurry. That is one thing what is hindering. Is not about only my company and all. It's about Indian overall ecosystem. That is one thing, Anurag, where I want some inputs on any other way to better approach any other persons so that we can get more leverage of suppose if you are getting any new we are seeing in the news, right? So many new foundries are coming up where they need our services, like for a lot of IPs to be regenerated, a lot of standards to be regenerated. So that is one thing where I am looking for an opportunity.
I really have not understood your question. That this entire narrative that you just told me, it's understood. That's all right.
Yeah, yeah. So question,
That is one.
yeah, sorry. Yeah,
The
continue.
second thing is, I'm still not able to understand what are you looking at basically?
Looking for
What is
a
your focus?
more general approach. Suppose if I want to approach any SCL, basically, right? Semiconductor laboratory for a more
SCL is right now undergoing a very, very major change and very, very major shift as we
okay.
speak,
Mhm.
right? So, if you want to approach SCL, you can tell somebody from the T Hub to write to METI, and
Okay.
you can speak with the concerned people in SCL. In case you want to have an audience with them, you speak with them. But the whole idea at hand is for what? The question is for what?
Yeah, basically, right, is to have one complete SOC. So any company needs a lot of components like IPs. So where
Uh,
we are willing to partner with them in developing
right.
them.
You take a number 75067
Okay.
32370.
Okay. Sure.
Okay, please call up. He is the head of business development of IESA. His name is Ved Mal.
Okay.
He has pioneered something called the Startup Mitra program in Bangalore. Just
Okay.
talk to him.
Sure. Sure. Anurag. Thank you.
I understood your question. I think he is the most important man you can speak with in this regard, right? He will be able to guide you what exactly are your requirements and where you can go from here, right,
Okay.
Krishna?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, who's champion semiconductor? I'm not getting your name here on the screen.
सर माय नेम इज साहिल एंड our brand name is Geocon. मेरा नाम साहिल है. Can you am I audible to you?
Yeah, totally. Yes.
Okay, sir. Sir, basically we are based in Noida and we are working on a flexible SoC which the user can configure on the fly, and the cost of the product varies on the consumption of the IP that he consumes at the time of shipping it out. So the SoC is basically a PLD kind of a thing with with housing circuitry, housekeeping circuitry, as well as processor and memory. And then there is a web-based interface which the user can use to write code and program it. And with whatever IP that the user selects, he has to pay for it. And then the chip code comes at a base price. So the concept is that the user can uh, uh, make different kind of configurations on the same chip and then adapt it to different kind of requirements. The second phase is an exchange, web-based exchange that we want to build where RTL can be directly traded, like apps are being traded for Android and iOS, and that RTL can run on our chips. So the first question that I have is that on the selection of the processor architecture, you already know that the DIR program is now being supported by the government itself. But then there is a more mature and a very good processor ecosystem available, and ARM is offering that free of cost as a flexible IP, a flexible program to the startups. And then, but the government's focus is right now on disk five. So we are right now in the architectural phase of the entire product design cycle. So I want your opinion. What should we do? Should we go forward and think about using ARM, or should we go forward because the entire focus is in disk five? That is the first question that I have.
It cuts both ways, yeah, Sahil. You can do either.
Okay. Because so the reason is that without getting traction from DLI and getting some support, हम इसको कर नहीं पाएंगे. And if the focus of the government is more towards DIR 5 and RISC 5, we should not be a problem for us. But then it has some sort of gestation issues because इतना मैच्योर नहीं है अभी इस पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम पे. We have to work to make the adopted code more mature. So that is some sort of work that we'll need to do. So वो आने वाले टाइम में गवर्नमेंट का फोकस जो है वो ऐसा तो नहीं है कि आर्म बेस्ड चिप्स पे ना रहे कि देन लेट्स सेलेक्ट शक्ति और वेगा कोर जो whosoever is using it, and we'll only support that in the end.
No, see, you're not understanding the whole picture. No, don't get into Shakti and Vega. You know, whatever you're doing, see, even when you make Shakti or Vega, finally, where will you fabricate it in the present circumstances? You'll have to go abroad, right? Wherever you have to go, at least for next 3-4 years till your foundries come into being, and which they will
So I think
either way.
7 years for at least, yeah.
Yeah, so at least for three years or so, it'll take a little while. So even if it is whatever, I'm not naming a chip or the chip. I'm not even the names are irrelevant. But at the end of the day, you will get them fabricated from abroad only in a particular
Yeah.
configuration, right? But then the whole idea at hand is something very different. The whole idea is there demand for that? Is there a scale? Think of that. So
नहीं सर,
A, what
that is being I understand. वो तो हम कर ही रहे हैं अपने end पे figuring out everything.
so
वो तो
first
मैं
look at what are your demand metrics. Look at it, can you upscale it? So whether it is A, B, or C, whosoever is developing is not my concern. My concern as a policy guy is there demand for it? Is there a market for it? Or you are just making wafers and you're putting them as part of mementos somewhere. No, that's not the idea. So A, are you qualitative enough at this present juncture to take a government subsidy? One. B, is there work in progress? So you will take a little time to mature it. That's two. And C, what is your target segment? These three questions you have to answer yourself first before you get into all this. Right? So
okay.
this is my only suggestion to you. So answer these three questions. If you have all the three answers, then yes, by all means, you should go ahead and cash on to the policies and the subsidies given by the government. पहले ये
Okay.
देखो करना क्या है.
Okay.
Yeah,
And where are you
Anurag, I
from?
have one question, sir. Sorry. Can I interrupt here?
Yeah.
Sorry. One important thing that happened to us, we built our SOC on RISC-V architecture, completely ground up. We have done the FPGA, we have done everything. But there is one particular reason I have to go to ARM, that is trust zone.
Okay.
When it comes to security, most of when I go into any kind of healthcare application or any, because it's a ultra low power chip, that is what I'm trying to do. The primary question, even Kia Motors, when we went to there, they asked me, what is the security that you are providing us? Are you
Correct.
on ARM trust zone? Because RISC-V doesn't have that yet, I am forced to have at least the trust zone implemented by ARM. Is there any solution regarding this, Anurag, about this particular point in RISC-V with our policy at a policy level?
Actually, I can't think of any as of now, but you've set me thinking. I've noted it down. So the next time
Okay,
we have
great.
an interaction, I'll have an answer to this.
Sure, great. Thanks.
Right? Because
Sorry.
this is a question which it has been bothering me also for a very long time. So let me get back to you on this. I've noted it down.
Sure, Anurag. Thanks.
So Sahil, where we
Yeah.
were is that you will have to get your act in a matter or at a datum which is a little mature to ask for a or apply for a government scheme. It'll be difficult for you to apply for it for no rhyme or reason, which or in a half-baked manner. This possibly will not be very. It'll not get through, so to say, because
These are
there are a lot of stringent checks and balances which the government and likely why not, and they're giving you the money which they do before they finally disperse money. A lot of people may say that it's a very it's a very time consuming process, this, that, and the other. Imagine you will not even give your own credits to somebody. Yeah, here you're getting so much of grant, so it will be a little time consuming process. So reach a particular level of maturity, and then I think then you should look at applying for these government schemes. Yeah, Rajesh.
Hi, Anurag. Rajat here. So,
Yeah, Rajesh, I can't hear you.
yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can. Yes.
So, one other question I had was, what is the policy regarding semiconductor equipment manufacturers, like people who are into instrumentation for. So, is there any offset policy? Because we have lot of investment from abroad for uh, fabrication, but is there any policy to develop companies which are into uh, 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 instrumentation with regard to semiconductor manufacturing?
Basically, you're talking about the components for the equipment.
No, not yeah, components for the equipment, like companies like AMAT, Applied Materials.
There are a lot of talks as we speak today to possibly get some kind of a scheme in this domain, and I think very soon something will come through insofar as the components are concerned. See, the whole idea is that when you look at these global behemoths like Lam and AMAT and all these people, at the end of the day, they have complete monopoly over the system, right? Because they're the equipment manufacturers, which I'm sure you understand.
Yeah.
But now there is a little shift in the thinking where you can, look at sourcing the individual components of these things, so to say, in India. So there is something which is going on right now. So let's see, something will come out as we speak.
Okay.
As of
Yeah.
now, nothing.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Govind, please go ahead.
Govind.
Yeah, hi. Thank you for the opportunity. So basically, I'm from Spidex Technologies. We are into users of the SOCs. Like we build systems by using system on chips. Say, for example, from Nordic, Dialog, TI, NXP, all these things. Like basically, we develop systems and which are majorly into consumer electronics and also industrial and enterprise applications, basically. So the question from my side is, there are a couple of areas which the policies, the people are, I mean, people in the sense the government is providing a lot of benefits, but the execution level, it is getting, I would say, it is getting failed to getting into the execution. For example, there are some grants, and these grants are being misutilized by the public. I mean, not public, but policymakers. End of the day, the politicians and all these things. And where is the control, and how can we monitor these things, and saying that if the government is providing a X amount of grant, and what is the outcome that is getting produced back to the society or a kind of to the industry is one thing. Second thing, the investment part. And most of the investors who are basically, the trend is something like in a way like I could see very less people showing interest in the semiconductors because the turnaround time is little high, and the success rate is also matters for that, and the ROI and everything. But it is not like a Silicon Valley kind of thing. But we are now in the uh, uh, rising edge of this, say, for example, the curve.
No, this is
But
okay.
at this juncture,
Discourse, you come to the point, Govind. You come to the
yeah,
point. This is all known to everyone.
fine.
Come to
So
the
the
point.
problem is, how are you? What is the best way to provide or encourage the investors to look into the semiconductor area where they can invest into is the point.
The best way to, in the present case, to get funding for semiconductors is to open a fabless entity as we speak today,
Okay.
right? That's one. The second thing is you should look at investors, and you'll be doing a great service to this nation if you can start something on the skilling aspects of it. That is two. The third thing is that when you're looking at these fabrication facilities and these packaging facilities which are already in progress right now, coming into in place in the next 2 years, 3 years time, you should be at a particular level where you are ripe to take the benefits out of the governmental schemes as also contribute to the overall effort. If you can understand that in the policy metrics, I think you won the game.
Okay.
right? So that's the way it is. Because you also must understand that when you're looking at finally whatever business that you're doing is not on charity, it's about profit, right?
True.
So when you're looking at profit margins, the profit margins in a designing house are anywhere between 35 to 45%, whereas in a foundry, the profits still lag between 9 to 10%. So in terms of even mathematics, there's a lot of profit. There's a lot of satisfaction that you can do by opening something which is more of a fabless entity in design, and then diversify it as time goes by, in tune with the government policies as time progresses and things are already in place. This is my only
Yeah.
advice to you.
So as I mentioned in the earlier beginning itself, we are not a fabless company, but basically it is a system design company. Basically, people like us,
Right?
there are many, many are there. So
Yeah,
the
yeah.
one thing, the question didn't answer, like, see, showing profits and getting all these things is one generic answer. Who can, I mean, what is the policy level measures are being taken care, or if not, is there a way to convey, or from your side, whoever the entity side, to say that, okay, I mean, as I said, the grants are being given to the people, and I witnessed a couple of cases like they are not executed the way they're supposed to be. So, how are we controlling?
I
Uh,
will not be able to answer this question to you,
okay,
right?
okay,
That
fair.
is one, because I'm not distributing that grant. That is one,
Okay, okay,
right?
okay,
The second thing is, if somebody has distributed the grant, it is absolutely been done on merit. That is two.
okay.
And
Mhm.
three, let me tell you, there are lots of checks and balances in place which are there. And let me
Mhm.
assure you, they are there. So I'm not very certain as to why you're making this statement that, this has been given and this has not come out and that has not come out. I really don't understand.
Yeah, but I witnessed. I mean, we are one of those victims, basically. So anyway, thank you for the details. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Chaitanya, could you please explain about your startup?
Yeah. Hi, Anurag. Good afternoon. We are a
Right.
startup focused on developing products for the automobiles that through semiconductor program. I'm basically from industrial engineering background. Like currently, we have a product which prevents rear-end collisions, and we develop the product. And we are not into at a chip level, but we are at the initial stage, and we have validated the thing and the model and so on. It's a patented one. We got the patent granted. And in future, we want to develop products, semiconductor products, or these chips, which can be treated into automobile safety related things, so that the cost can be reduced. And
What exactly? What application? What application in automobile?
the current product, what we are doing it is for this road safety, it prevents rear end collisions. And
It
in
I'm sorry, it prevents?
rear end collisions, it helps to prevent rear end collisions. There are different
Okay,
rear end collisions. Yeah.
right.
And I mean, in future, we want to go into a forward collision warning and also ADAS technology, which can be implemented at a low price. See,
What is the name of your startup?
SEGO,
I
S
couldn't hear you.
SEGO, SEGO.
Seco. Okay. You already have funding for this?
No, we haven't got any funding until now. It's recently got incorporated, and we are getting incubated. So I was about to ask you, are there any specific schemes where we can fit into and apply for funding? And so on?
Write a small little one pager of your startup
Sure,
and through T Hub send it to me on email. Let me
sure.
forward it to the concerned people. Let me see what they can do, automobile segment.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Right?
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I'll try to send it to I will not name the companies, but Indian as well as foreign. Let me see if they show interest in this. So
Yeah,
just send a one pager as to
sure, sure.
what are you intending to do? Is there any proof of concept?
Yeah,
And what exactly are your TRL levels as we speak today? And how do you intend taking it far from here in the next 4 or 5 years?
sure, sure. Yeah. I mean,
Right?
this was like, this was product was developed through my research work, like, that was funded by Department of Science and Technology.
Whatever it is, you just write the whole thing. You
Yeah,
through T
sure,
Hub, through Rajesh or somebody, you please
sure,
send it
sure.
to me on email.
Yeah.
right? And then I will send it to the concerned people, and then possibly you can hear it from them.
Yeah, thanks. It means a lot. Thank you so much.
Not at all. This is an important aspect. See, you must understand, automobile is the second largest market in this country today as we speak.
True.
Right? It's the second largest market, the automobile market of the world, actually. What you're doing now. So the scope for automobile applications is only going to grow in the times to come,
Yeah.
economically and design wise itself, right? So especially in automobile segment, these kind of these aspects that you're looking at as also displays are going to be the future. They're going to be the norm of the future. So just send me a one pager as to what it is through T Hub, and then I'll forward it to the concerned people.
Yeah.
Let's see if they uh, respond to you. Then
Yeah.
let's just say you're lucky.
Yeah. Let's be hopeful. Yeah.
Yeah, let's be hopeful. Thanks, Chaitanya.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chaitanya. Rajesh, could you please explain about your startup?
Yeah, sure, Nikita. Yeah, hey, Anurag. Myself, Rajesh, and we are from Face Intel Technologies Private Limited. So, as the name suggests, we are doing this company applications, Anurag. So, by making use of this AI/ML inference process. So currently we are using NVIDIA's Jetson processors. In fact, ideally during the pilot, we are directly using this development kits, and we are integrating camera sensors and all. So instead of that, we would like to build customized casing and with all the peripheral components which we would like to integrate, and we would like to reduce the final device costing wise in terms of currently when we are buying directly the dev kit, right? It is costing a lot. So if we want to reduce the final enclosure board which we would like to use, so we are thinking in terms of directly get the module and connect what are the peripheral components which we would like to integrate and reduce the cost of the device and all. So just wanted to understand because I know that there are some few companies in Bangalore and especially in China also there are who is giving us directly the kind of plug and play kind of device and also just trying to understand from your perspective.
I will not be able to answer this question fully, Rajesh, because
Oh.
I'm myself not very privy to this. Right. So, but if you have any other question which which is
sorry,
regarding policy, then I'll make it a point to help you out with this.
Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. In fact, I joined a little late, Anurag. Okay, maybe that was bad from my side in asking this question itself. Right? Yeah, okay, good. Sure, thank you.
Tell me, where are you based, Rajesh? Where exactly are you?
We are in Hyderabad only.
Are you
Hello?
where
Yeah, Anurag,
exactly in
go ahead,
Hyderabad?
we are from Indian. I mean, we are situated currently in Indian School of Business as part of our incubation and all. But we have both T-Hub as well as ISB, both the places we have incubation place. Yeah.
Where in Indian School of Business?
D Labs. I venture at ISB, right?
Oh, yeah,
Inside
I am
ISB.
ex-ISB, na? That's why I'm asking you. Where in ISB?
Yeah. In the road number 6, we have this I venture at ISB, right? I think Soumya is heading there.
So who's
I venture at
in
ISB.
that facility there inside ISB these days?
Yeah. There is a facility for incubation center which is called I venture at ISB.
So this is being run under what aegis of what Bhagwan Chaudhary?
Exactly.
Acha, okay.
Yeah.
That guy is running it. Oh yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
So next time I'm there in Indian School of Business, meet me.
Yeah, sure, Anand. Of course. In fact, I'm also an
Yeah.
ISB, so happy
Yeah.
to catch you up. Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Nice to talk to you.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Right. Okay. All right. Anybody else?
Any more questions, please?
Next time around, possibly I'm in a little better health. I will give you an entire expose about the entire Indian semiconductor policy and what are the schemes and what they look at. In the meantime, you may like to look at, PLI is beyond your scope and preview, all of you, because I understand where you come from. Please look at DLI. There's a lot of debate and there's a lot of, work as we speak on DLI 2.0 that is also going on. You must look at specs. The current scheme is for components and various other things, but it gets over on the 31st of March. A next, tranche of specs 2.0 should be in place by around April. So that should be a very, very enabling policy for the components, so to say, and various other, supply chain equipment and all of that. You also may look at C2S, or, chips to startup, and, the chips to startup as to how the program is running. And even T Hub, I mean, you can apply for the C2S grant actually, if you can. It's not a bad bet because a lot of incubators and technical institutions are applying for it and they're getting it. And there's a lot of good things which are coming out of that. So the people who are there, who are, engaged in hardware startups and all of that, can, if nothing else, use system tools which are prohibitive, which the government is providing to you on a no cost, no this thing basis. And in addition to all of that, there are some other schemes also which are now coming. They are under debate, which somebody just mentioned during the course of this, on components, whether it is for, the equipment, or whether it is for other things. So there are also a lot of deliberations are in place. And I think if you, all of you can look at, the segments of automobiles, defense and aerospace, and you can look at the segments of space as we speak today. I think they will be the most three enabling segments for all of you as hardware startups to focus on as we speak today, as I see here in New Delhi. So I think if you can look at these three things in a little more, focused manner, then I think things can work out well for you. For anyone who's getting into the defense and aerospace segment, please undergo and see IDEX. Please look at that. Also look at something called the TDA, for the Technology Development Fund, which in which the DRDO gives a seed funding of 1 crore. There's a lot of money which the DRDO is also giving. It's called the TDA, for the Technology Development Fund. And of course, anybody who looks at, from a very multinational lens, look at IndusX, that is the ISET initiative between India and United States, insofar as the defense and aerospace verticals are concerned and innovations are concerned. Please look at all of them. They may be of some use to all of you. I will speak more on them in detail next time I am there online with you, or when I meet you there in T Hub in person. So I will only request for your leave now, because it's very difficult for me to speak now. So I think I'll have to call it a day, and give my throat some rest before I catch bigger cold and more fever.
Yes, thank you so very much for joining,
Thank
Anurag. Even though you're not unwell, you have joined this session. We would love to meet you in T Hub with all the semiconductor startups. Please to let us know if you're coming down to T Hub.
Sure, surely. And anytime any of you want to connect with another semiconductor startup program which IESA has started, it is called Startup Mitra, which will help all startups in semiconductors and hardware space to even handhold you guys in the application process, etc., etc. You answer your doubts as as time goes by. But then maybe you'll have to either be online in some places, or you may have to travel to Bangalore to meet these guys. I've given the coordinates. I will give the coordinates to T Hub. You can take it from there. Anybody who wants to connect to them, please connect to them and be a part of the Startup Mitra program also. It's a good thing to happen. We are trying to promote as many as possible insofar as the hardware startups are concerned. So the more the merrier, I think. Let's make it a little more inclusive, because half the time we have realized the last around 4 5 months that we've started it is that there are startups talking now to startups themselves, and they are aligning towards each other's goals, which is the most important thing. And then they have the requisite mentoring, which is available all over in Bangalore and Hyderabad, and then I think a lot of good things can come out of that. So I will send an email to T Hub with all the contacts of Startup Mitra also, if you can take it from there in case you guys want to.
Definitely, I'll shoot it to each and every startup.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Anurag ji.
All
Take
right.
care of your health.
Yeah,
And
sure. Thank you so much, Anurag. Yeah.
have a good afternoon, all of you, please. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks for joining.
Bye.